So alrighty guys, I just got back from my first collection purchase. So this is what $925 can get you. Alright, so those two boxes are pretty full. I haven't gone through any of this yet. I mean, I checked through some of the bigger items that I was looking for. We definitely got some heavy hitters in there, but we got a lot of extras. Like he threw in all of these old manuals. These are really awesome to have. So that's really excellent. There's a lot of bonus stuff that I was not expecting. Just a little jumper pack, which is kind of nice. So this way, if you don't want to sell an N64 for cheaper with the expansion pack, well, toss that in there. But we got some heavy hitters. One of the big ones, Clock Tower 3. And then I don't know where he put the other one. I got to go through it all, but he's got definitely some big boys in the PS2 collection. It's one of those Atlas games. I don't know. It's about $100. I think it was White Samurai or something like that. Not really sure. We got a Game Boy box. No Game Boy inside. However, this is in pretty good condition. You have a little damage down here. This is actually in really, really good shape, and this was just thrown in. That wasn't even calculated in. The PlayStation 3 controller I didn't calculate in. That whole bag wasn't calculated in. Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast right there. I sold that not too long ago for a little over $30. So disc only, maybe 20. So that's like a $20 bill I wasn't expecting. Let me come up, check this out. The PlayStation 3, I actually wasn't expecting. I was expecting PlayStation 3 games, so we got ourselves a console. Let's see. I have no idea what this thing is. Airborne Ranger. I'll have to look into that. There's just so much stuff in these boxes that I was not anticipating. A lot of loose games. Some of them might be pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like he's got some PC stuff in here. EverQuest 2 on CD in the box. Yeah, so he's just throwing in. Basically, he's just getting rid of all of his stuff besides a few pieces. I wasn't expecting any Wii. Let's see if we got anything good on the Wii here. I actually think that's pretty good. House of the Dead 2 and 3. I'll go ahead and throw up the price charting. I think that might actually be a pretty good one right there. Not so much. Let's see what else we got. So, aftermarket SNES controller. Another one. Oh, that's pretty good. And then this box over here, Game Boy printer. I didn't even know this was a thing. Apparently it is, but that's pretty cool. The N64 controllers, I was expecting 2. Looks like we have 3. There's a yellow thing here. Oh, okay, so this is a hodgepodge. Okay, so I got 2 controllers. So we have a yellow and red one, and then a green one. Okay, I was really hoping to get an extra one. I really need N64 controllers. Sticks feel pretty good. This one's a little loose. That one's pretty good, though. So definitely need those. Game Gear. Didn't know that was in there. So that's a nice little bonus, assuming that it works. We'll have to test that out. PlayStation 1. I have no idea what this is. Looks like it goes for the Game Boy Advanced speaker system thing. Now, this is one of the big N64 games. I've actually never heard of this, but this is like $75-ish. So this is Rocket Robot on Wheels. And then, let's see. And then there's the other big N64 game. We got Paper Mario. There's some other good ones. Resident Evil 2. Dr. Mario. I mean, you know. I'm going to try to mark these up because people just want them. Like, I'm trying to sell them with consoles, the reproduction ones, and people are like, hey, how much for the game? And I'm like, $30. Meanwhile, you can just go online, buy the repros for $20. So I'm probably going to knock that up $10 over price charting just to see if people are willing to pay it. People just want them, and you can't find them around here. Pilot Wings is a solid one. Spider-Man, that's damn good. And then there's Bug's Life. Sorry, we couldn't end it with like a Zelda or something, but yeah, pretty solid on that front. And then we have PSP. He actually had some good stuff here on PSP. This one, believe it or not, I thought that this would be pretty good. I've never heard of it, but not so much. This one's actually the winner. Power Stone Collection. So this is the one I had to definitely make sure was in there. Complete. awesome. So that's like 40 bucks. Surprisingly enough, this Mega Man, not a whole lot. Now, granted, he only paid 2, so I definitely paid him more than that. I think these are going for about 20. I just had a Mega Man PSP game that I just sold. That one was 30, so I just thought this would probably be closer to that, but not too bad. And then let's get it right here. And then the other big one for PSP, even though it is the greatest hits version, this is very, very popular for PSP. And then can't be PSP without Crisis Core, right? So now a couple things that I was expecting 2 of and did get, which is important. Where are they? That's a big one right there, guys. Parasite Eve 2. But there are 2 of them. Not just 1, but 2. That was a big deal. Resident Evil 2, Black Label. That's pretty solid. That's not too big of a deal. We do have Parasite Eve 1, Black Label. That's pretty good. Now, the case is a little damaged. I might have to see if I can swap the cases around on some of these. Final Fantasy VIII, to be honest, nobody really cares. It's kind of unfortunate, but that game, like, just is not... Nobody really cares, honestly. Another Final Fantasy VII. Unfortunately, this one's greatest hits. Let's see. We got... Looks like this is probably broken. So, PSP, this is broken. I don't think I really factored that in too terribly much, so not the end of the world on that one. Let's see. Another good PlayStation 1 game. Jersey Devil, surprisingly enough. Another pretty good one. Spider-Man 2. And, yeah. These are all pretty good. We got some Spyros, the Collector's Edition Spyro 1, and I think that's 3. Right, going back to the PlayStation 2 stuff. I wasn't planning on making this like a big, long sort of video. We got some Lucy games here. Those I did know about. Those are all factored in. So these are not just thrown in, tossed in. Then we got the PlayStation 2. He's got the Devil May Cry sticker on there. Oh, here it is. This was the big one. So, Samurai Western. Yeah, so even disc only, that's over $100. So that's pretty good. This is an old fat PlayStation 2. He's missing the cover. Probably get one of those ordered. Okay, so some of the stuff was from this bag. Some of it's like loose stuff or cases or missing things. These were not factored in. So like Resident Evil 3, when I saw that, I'm like, I didn't expect that to come in. I believe that the Final Fantasy IX is missing a disc or 2. Yeah, I've got 2 discs on that one. They could be in the PlayStation as well. The dude said he didn't really play much of this stuff. So these guys were part of the extras pile. I just put them on here for traveling. Same thing with the booklets. Let's see what we got. We got Paperboy 2 on Super Nintendo. I'll have to look into these. I have no idea what instruction manuals are valuable. You guys can let me know in the comment section down below if you know. So Mario Duck Hunt, like that's a pretty easy one right there. Crazy Taxi, I think Crazy Taxi's in here somewhere. We got a Mortal Kombat 3 and the Donkey Kong Country. So definitely some good ones in there that people will want. So we can just sell the booklets off. Oh, there's some more over here. Like I said, Raging Blast is pretty good. It's a little rough. I'll probably pay to get that resurfaced. Tomb Raider, sell it as is. And then Rampage, not really sure on that one. All right, let's check out the rest of these booklets. Chessmaster, I know that's not too big of a deal. NBA Jam, though, that's probably desirable. As far as I know, Cool World is a pretty tough one, so that might actually be worth quite a bit. Twisted Metal, not for resale. I think this is like a demo disc. All right, so that's kind of cool. Check into that. Incredible Hulk on Super Nintendo. That's pretty good. Atari Flashback. What's this? Xbox 360. I don't think that's a big deal. And then we got a black demo disc. All right, cool. So that's, like I said, all that was just thrown in. Yeah, so I'll just scan over the PlayStation 2 games. I know we kind of checked out some of these before, but you can definitely tell that there's some good ones in here. Well, alrighty, guys, we tore through that pretty good. The good news is all the really big really big stuff is there. And then we definitely had some unexpected surprises. Probably the coolest one being this Game Boy box. Here, let me open this guy up. We got foam. Foam is good. Foam is good. Let's see if we got manuals. It feels like there's stuff in here. So let's see what we got. Oh, baby. We got original accessories of some kind. I don't remember. It's like a link cable. I believe that's what that is. I believe that's a link cable. And then we've got the original Tetris. Sorry. I got that. Yeah. So we got the manuals. We got the foam. All we need is a Game Boy and Tetris. And we have a... And I don't know if this came with a power cord, but then we got a CIB original Game Boy. That's pretty excellent. So we got the hard-to-get bits. Now we just need to get the not hard-to-get bits. So I'm super excited for that one. Overall, I was seeing this coming in at about $2,100-ish. So not a bad deal, not a bad score. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get this laid out kind of nice and neat and a little bit more organized, and I'll total up kind of the going rate. We'll use the price charting value as it sits right now. Alrighty guys, here we go. So this is the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and Sony PSP lot. I didn't get my desk in. That's why things look a little bit weird. I was expecting it today. So yeah, I just got this all laid out. I'm going to go ahead and enter this into price charting, but I wanted to give you guys kind of a little more clean look of everything. We have the two PlayStations. We do have the insert, the manuals, and all the rest of that, which is really cool because I do have my PS1 box. So we might be able to make a CIB using that. There's the PlayStation 2. We do have one memory card for that, two memory cards for the PlayStation 1s, only one OEM controller. We have no OEM controllers for the PlayStation 2, just the third-party stuff. I actually think that one might be a PlayStation 3 over there. We do have a multi-tap, which is aftermarket, and then there is something stuck to that, which I did not realize. I don't know if that's another memory card or if... Okay, so that's actually a part of it. It's been a long time since I used one of those. And then we have the PSP, which this is damaged. The battery doesn't quite fit, and this door is damaged. So I'm going to have to reach out on that one because that's, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm probably not going to be able to repair that, or it's just not going to be worth it. So we got all of our PSP games. We do have one long box PlayStation 1 game, which is really pretty cool. This isn't too terribly valuable, but I've actually never seen one of these, you know, or messed with one. Like I used to see them in the stores, but I've never had any of the long boxes. So this is how PlayStation 1 games originally shipped. This giant box for this big old manual, and then just a little spot for the disc. That's kind of interesting. But those are pretty collectible. People like them, and it's actually in really good shape. The box is in excellent condition, so it's not super valuable, but somebody's really going to like that. And then I'm just going to scan through a couple of the games. We kind of went over all of that before, but if you want to pause and kind of take a look at what we got here, you can do so. But yeah, look at those Metal Gears down there. Yeah, I was only expecting one of each, and then there's two of each. Go figure. But yeah, so a lot of games to go through. Got to process them, clean them. Unfortunately, a lot of the games are actually missing manuals, so we don't have a lot of CIBs, but depending on the game, sometimes the manual is not that big of a deal. As long as you have the original box, the original disc. You know, most people are pretty okay with that. Collectors are going to want both, but depending on the rarity of the game, you know, it is what it is. So, alrighty, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get those entered in to get the value on this stuff. And then I'll show you guys the PlayStation 3, Wii, and Xbox stuff that we got. And then we'll take a look at the miscellaneous stuff, and then we'll go through the total. Alrighty, guys, so we had a surprise winner in the PS2 lot, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Now, I know that this is very valuable on the original Xbox, but apparently it's extremely valuable also on the PlayStation 2. So, good thing to look out for. So, this was disc only. It's in really good shape. This is a $115 disc only. So, this is actually the most valuable part of the collection, or the games at least anyway, as of right now. And I didn't even know this was in there. So, that's really awesome. So, that was a big surprise. Just wanted to let you know on that front. Now we're going to be taking a look at the PlayStation 3, N64 stuff, the Wii, which I forgot to put the games over here. Ta-da! Inserted Wii games. And then the original Xbox. So we can see here we got the remote. We don't have the receiver. That kind of sucks. We have 3 controllers. Only one is first party. The other 2, I believe these are Mad Catz. Something. I don't know. These look really cool. I'll look into them, see if they're actually worth anything. We have 2 breakout cables, so one of them is missing one. It's not that big of a deal. I looked up this Rock Band, or this is actually a Guitar Hero microphone. That's only $10. That's not really a big deal. We got 3 Wiimotes. Only the black one has the back, which is okay. 1 nunchuck. We got 2 Xbox 360 controllers. No Xbox 360 console. The Wii, it is missing the door. We do have all the power cords and everything. That is outside. We do have a 6-axis controller, and this is a 320 gigabyte PS3 Slim. I like these models better than the Super Slims. Personally, I like the looks on these way better than the fat ones, so I'm really happy with this. I wasn't expecting that one. 2 N64 controllers. Now, this one's like a hybrid. I don't know if they did that, or maybe this is a specific model or something. I'm going to look into that. We also have the green one. The green one has, oh, that's a pretty good stick. This one has a great stick, and I'd say that that one's like, if I had to give it a number, I'd say probably 6 out of 10. So it's slightly better than like meh. And then the games, let's take a look at the N64 stuff because there's some pretty good stuff here. So this Rocket Robot on Wheels, that's a good one. Paper Mario's a good one. Resident Evil 2, I thought this was a little bit better than what it is. But hey, I'm probably going to keep that one for my collection. Mario, depending on what this collection's worth, I might keep that one as well. I don't know what this is. I'll try that out and see if I like it. Spider-Man, I don't really remember. Of course, we got the, one of the best games ever, so that's going to sell no problem. It's not worth a ton, but it'll be gone tomorrow. If I list it tomorrow, it's gone tomorrow. It's that simple. Pilot Wings, this is a really good one. This we're probably going to keep. Spider-Man is like the X Factor. I don't remember what the value is on that one. Dr. Mario, I think, is like $20-25. So, yeah, those aren't too crazy. The 2 biggest ones are these guys right here. And then I looked up the House of the Dead earlier. It's really nothing. I think it's like a $15 game. It's not too bad. Wii games are very, very cheap. So a $15 Wii game is actually not bad. All right, and then these are the PlayStation 3 games. There's really nothing here. Mortal Kombat's pretty good. Metal Gear Solid 4, that's an easy sell, but it's not worth a whole lot. Red Dead, the Game of the Year edition, that's probably the best one here. And then I didn't look on the inside of this Uncharted dual pack because I'm seeing Drake's Fortune right there. Let's see, do we have 3 in there? Yeah, so we got 1, 2, and 3 on Uncharted. Bundle those together. Throw a $20 price tag on it. I bet you that'll probably go. SmackDown's actually pretty good here, so that's actually a decent one. And then Skyrim Legendary, it's got everything in there. I think it's got the map and everything. So that's complete. And so I think that's about a $15 shot. So not too bad there. Unfortunately, the Marvel vs. Capcom 3, there's, I think, the Ultimate Edition. That one's worth a little bit. This one, not so much. It's basically out of date. And then on the Xbox side of things, there's really not a whole lot here, to be perfectly honest. And any game that's under $10 on price charting, it just goes, where is it at? It just goes into the box of shame because it's just too cheap. You can't list it on eBay. So I'll just put those at the booth and get them sold real cheap. So anyways, we're going to enter this stuff in, see where we're at, and then we're going to take a look at the miscellaneous extras. And there's some really, really good stuff in there. So, alrighty, guys, we're probably about halfway done. So let me get to it. Alrighty, guys, so here's the last of it. So we got everything kind of pieced out. We took a look at the Game Boy box earlier. This thing is really awesome. It does have a tear here, so it's not in as good a shape as we thought. So it's got a little wear here, and it's got a little tear there. Even still, I'd say that this is probably still worth about $100. Not sure if I can get that into price charting. But you just get a Game Boy, you throw it in there, get a Tetris, and poof, it's instantly going to be worth about $100 more. So we got the Game Gear. We do have Sonic 2 that goes with that, so that's really awesome. So I can test it out. I don't have any other Game Gear games. I got 2 jumper packs for N64s. That's really handy. We got a memory card for an Xbox 360. That's, I don't know, a nostalgic piece. Nobody's ever going to use that. We have the Game Boy camera. This looks like a light that goes with the Game Boy camera, so you can take pictures. We have the Game Boy printer, which is really cool. Then we have some PC games. We got EverQuest 2 over there. But yeah, so this is a very, very old PC game. So I'm betting this box is probably worth a couple of bucks to the right person who's collecting old PC games. Now, the rest of this stuff I don't think is really going to have too much value. I don't know how useful it's going to be. This one might still work. But like this, that's a nothing burger. I got a DVD case. SimCity, the original, maybe. Let's see when this one came out. Let's see. Reading. No, this is 2013, so this is like a reprint. I'm betting this has some online component, so I doubt either of these are going to work. Same thing with EverQuest. These two have a shot. Well, this one has a shot, and then that one, that's definitely a collector's piece. Then moving up here, we have an old Atari game. So Atari is really something I've never done. I've never really done Atari stuff. But we got Combat. I have actually heard of this. I'll have to look that up. I have no idea how much that's worth. The big money is probably going to be in these guys, though. So we've got all the manuals. We kind of took a look at all this stuff earlier. Cool World. I already know that that's basically a $20 bill sitting there. So that's pretty awesome. We got the Genesis, which, while not super valuable, it's good. You know, there's a lot of people out there that want Sega stuff. And this is the first Genesis that I've had available for sale. And it is a Model 2, which is really nice. Rampage, we got this guy. He's loose. I think we checked some of these out. This is a PC game. This actually seems kind of cool. Monolith and Interplay. So this one is probably old enough that you can play it without some sort of online activation. So I'll see if that's actually worth a buck or two. And then we got Tomb Raider for PS3. This was extra thrown in. And then we took a look at this earlier. That is Dragon Ball Z Raging Blast. So that's pretty good. That's about a $20 bill as well. We saw the Final Fantasy IX, the Resident Evil. I think we saw most of this stuff, but I'm just showing you guys again if we missed any. This, unfortunately, you know, even though it's an Atlas game and it's complete besides the disc, it's not really worth anything. The Devil May Cry's, considering complete, really aren't a thing. Tony Hawk. So I don't think there's going to be much in those. But Spider-Man box, I don't think so. Afro Samurai, probably not. Resident Evil 3, yeah, there's probably something there. Final Fantasy IX, I doubt it. So in reality, the most interesting thing out of the extras that I was 100% unaware of is this Game Boy accessories. These are pretty cool. Obviously, the Game Boy box, that's the big one. The Game Gear potentially could be the bigger one if it's perfect, like if everything's working, backlight and everything. That'd be really good. The Genesis is pretty good, but I think the big win is probably going to come from that, and potentially this guy. I don't know if there's a lot of people out there collecting really, really old PC games, but if there are, there we go. Speaking of big wins and surprises, PlayStation 3 actually had a few. So apparently NBA Jam, this guy right here, this is a $20 game. I did not think it would be that high. I figured maybe a 10 or 15, but nope, this is $20. So if you find these out in the wild, pick that up. That's pretty good. And then this one blew me away. I'm like, come on, guys, you must be trolling. So X-Men Origins Wolverine. I remember this thing was everywhere for quite a long time. It's $50, guys. This is a $50 used game. Obviously complete, but what? I remember they couldn't give these things away. Maybe I'm thinking about like the Wii version. I just remember that these things were absolutely everywhere. But on PlayStation 3, at least here in the US, apparently people love the Wolvie. So that was a big surprise on the last one. So let me finish this up, and then we'll have a total of what we spent versus what we got. And that's obviously discounting, like I said, any game under $10 unless I can bundle it with other stuff like Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. They're only $5 a piece, but you throw them all together, $15 sort of a thing. Everything else just gets thrown away. It's not even added to the list. So those guys are just kind of put by themselves. Alrighty guys, we're finally done, and after adding in everything that comes out to being at least around $10 or can be made to $10, we have a total count of 117 items coming in at a total value of $3,050. Remember, we paid $925 for this lot, so that is actually much better than I was anticipating. There were a lot of very pleasant surprises in here. So real quick, I want to take 30, 50, and then we're going to divide by 117. So that comes to an average value of $26 per item. Now that's pretty solid, but we do have some of the manuals. I added all the manuals in because I just wanted to know what they were worth. And so if we take out some of the manuals, that will actually boost our average price. Now, here's the other thing. This is also the price charting price. So this means this is what it would sell for approximately on eBay. So that's not how much money you would actually make. So let's take 30, 50. And a good way to look at this is after fees, shipping, and whatever haggling needs to be done, it's usually a good idea to just knock 20% just straight off the top. So in reality, we're going to probably walk away with about $2,400, which still isn't bad. So if we take 2440 divided by the 925 that we spent, we're still going to make 2.6x our money. So that's pretty solid. That is a very, very healthy return. And yeah, so that would be really excellent. So I do want to scroll on down. There was a couple notable things that happened to pop up. So we got a couple of manuals. We have the NES Double Dragon in there. That one's over 10. Mortal Kombat on Super Nintendo. Like, this is close enough, right? So we're going to count that as 10. Let's see. What else kind of popped up in there? There was a big one. It was the Incredible Hulk, surprisingly enough, over on Super Nintendo. The manual alone is $18. This was the big winner. And then there was the Twisted Metal Black Online in there. I thought it was a manual, but it's actually a game. That's $13. It's in like a little sleeve, which is considered CIB for what it is. It's just a not for resale sort of thing. It's exactly what they're showing on here. Let's see. The Cool World, like I said, $17.50. So that was the other one. And most of the rest, not too big of a deal, right? So surprisingly enough, Donkey Kong Country at 8, not super great. Mortal Kombat 3, I was expecting to be a little bit higher. But nope, Mortal Kombat 1, even more desirable. Mario Duck Hunt, I wasn't too surprised about. So the key was, in a deal like this, is I made sure that I could make my money back pretty much no problem. So with the Samurai Western, the Parasite Eves, the N64 games, where, you know, I knew that those were close to $100. The Final Fantasies and stuff, that was kind of cool, but I knew Resident Evil's like a $50 bill. So I knew for a fact that I could get my money back pretty easy with a small amount of games, but you know, that's kind of part of the risk here. Like, I didn't know this thing would be $26. If somebody was like, hey, Chris, you want to buy this? And if I didn't look it up, I'd be like, okay, it's a PlayStation 2 game. I pay $2 for PlayStation 2 games. And that's what I would have offered on that. Obviously, that would have been stupid and should probably offer like $15 or somewhere in that neighborhood. Had no idea Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was worth this much or even in there. So that's just one of the amazing things that can happen, especially if you meet the guy at a good spot. So he was very excited at that particular price point. To him, he had a lot of this stuff donated to him. It was just sitting in his basement, and he didn't take the time to price it all out. He just kind of pieced it out. He took pictures of everything. I know he had a pretty good idea he had something, but the fact that he thought the King of Fighters games on PlayStation 2 were his heavy hitters means I probably could have gotten this for even less. But in reality, I probably would have felt bad if I paid him like, let's say $400 and it turned out to be worth $3,000 ish. That's a bit rough. So, alrighty guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you so much. So if you want to continue the conversation, you can do so by clicking the join button down below or becoming a Patreon member. You guys get first dibs on this. So this video is going to go live. I'm going to try to get it up here tonight, or I guess it'll be tomorrow morning as of recording. And yeah, so you guys, this is the list. You can go through it in the video. If you want a full list, I guess I could send this thing to you. But if you're in the Discord and you want to buy anything here, you get 20% off. So take these prices. You do have to pay shipping, but just knock 20% off because I'll use the price charting and I'll round up and down and whatever. So I'll round down for you guys as well. But like, for example, like this, I'm going to count this as $10. Like this, I might do like 55 on. So, you know, that sort of thing. I like fives. I like simple round numbers. But anyways, you get first shot at all this sort of stuff if there's anything in here that you want before it goes to the open market, which will happen in anywhere between 12 and 24 hours after the video goes live. So that's one of the biggest benefits that we have. And hey, you know, we can chat about this sort of stuff in the Discord, which is a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. And I will catch you guys in the next video.